Do you have an adult child that has an addiction and is also estranged? Well, in this video, we're going to be discussing how addictions contribute to estrangement, and we're going to be talking about some keys that will help you navigate this condition. Hi, I'm Marie Morin. I'm a therapist and a wellness coach. Let's get started. You're going to want to watch my video about mental illness and estrangement because it outlines this condition of mental illness and how, when you have a mental illness, it really contributes to estrangement. But in reality, substance use disorder is a mental illness. And let's talk about that. According to the DSM-5, a substance use disorder involves patterns or symptoms caused by using a substance that an individual continues taking despite its negative effects. So there's 11 criteria, and they involve taking the substance for longer than it was meant to, trying to cut down but being unable to, experiencing intense cravings or urges to use, needing more of the substance to get the desired effect, and that's called tolerance, developing withdrawal symptoms when not using the substance, spending more time getting and using drugs and recovering from substance use, neglecting responsibilities at home, work, or school because of substance use, continuing to use even when it causes relationship problems, giving up important or desirable social or recreational activities due to substance use, using substance use in risky settings that put you in danger, continuing to use despite the substance causing problems to your physical and emotional health. So how does substance use disorder contribute to estrangement use? So whether it's the parent or the adult child that's using substances, when there's substance use, it really rocks relationships. It's really hard to be in a relationship with someone who's needing to get more drugs, who's wanting to have drugs, who's participating in risky behavior. I mean, that really complicates relationships in general. People that are addicted tend to put themselves in a lot of risk. And for the other person watching, if it's a parent watching their child, this could be extremely unsettling. There's also a stigma around the use of substances. No one wants to say that they're using substance, so there's a very high likelihood that they're not going to be getting help, as well as the person looking out on the person with the substance use, that there could be this judgment like, oh my God, I can't believe that you're addicted. And that can create a lot of angst in a relationship. Another feature is that when someone has an addiction, there's a lot of fear and worry. Is my loved one going to be okay? Are they going to get through this? Are they ever going to kick this? And will they ever be able to function properly again? So there's a lot of fear and worry around the whole notion of this person having an addiction. People with active addictions have a hard time with telling the truth. And they also have a hard time behaving in terms of the way that they communicate, what they say, how they say it. And so that creates a lot of stress in relationships. This puts pressure on adult children to behave a certain way. It puts pressure on parents that want their adult children to behave a certain way. And things can be said that can be really unsettling for both parties. Let's remember that no one chooses ever to have a mental illness or have a disorder, particularly an addiction disorder where they have to have a certain substance in order to be able to manage their life. So it's really hard on the person with the addiction, as well as being extremely difficult for family members who watch their loved one with the addiction. There's also this noticing naturally that the person with the addiction is extremely engrossed in having to supply, to be able to get high again. And that's really hard on all parties involved. And then there's this idea that the individual very likely wants to be free of their addiction, and they just struggle with getting the treatment, getting through the treatment, being able to stay sober, be able to stay straight. And there's an enormous amount of pressure on themselves, and as well as the pressure that they feel from others. If your adult child is estranged, you have no idea where they are, and they're addicted, it could be overwhelmingly painful. And hopefully you have gotten help and support, because the key to managing being estranged, even if your adult child does not have mental illness or an addiction, is getting the support that you need so that you can move forward. You can't move forward unless you're getting help to do so. One of the most unsettling things is when adult children kind of come in and out of your life. For some people, they have an intermittent relationship with their adult child. If the adult child is really in need, they might contact the parent, they might ask for financial help, they might be so desperate, they might need a place to stay. And there could be a lot of blurred boundaries where parents feeling so emotionally responsible and worried about their kid, they allow them to do things when they know that it could be emotionally harmful for them to have their adult child do these things. So one of the most important things that you will learn in any kind of codependency group, in Al-Anon or AA, is the need for boundaries. Boundaries really set a fence around what you will accept and what you won't accept. Very often we don't know this because we're so worried about our child, we're willing to accept anything, and we put ourselves under the bus because we're scared for them, and we feel like, well, what else? I can't do anything else but take care of them, because if I don't, then I don't know how they're going to be. But clear boundaries are absolutely essential. So they might be something like letting them know what conditions you are willing to help them and what conditions you won't. Now, this is difficult to do. That's why it's essential for you to get support. Boundaries also are making a claim around not allowing abusive behavior, not giving money or being manipulated and supporting their addiction, being empathetic to their struggle and hopeful for their ability to recover, and validating them and what they're going through if they are open to you. Boundaries are not something easily achieved. They are clearly stated, able to be adhered to, and easy to remember. The difficult part about boundaries is being consistent with them. So it's really important for you as the parent to get support to keep you on target with being consistent with your boundaries. When someone's in an addiction, they are struggling, and it's really, really hard for them. It's hard for parents to look on and know that their adult child is struggling. And when there's estrangement and you have no clue what's going on with your adult child, or you have intermittent contact with them, it could be just as unsettling. The sad fact is that when someone is in an active addiction and they're not in recovery, it could be impossible to resume a relationship with them. And creating a boundary, which is also about deciding that you matter enough, that you're caring for yourself, and that your well-being matters. Being so stressed out, whether you have contact with this person or not, is not good for your well-being. So what you can get from this video is that you need to be taking care of yourself. You need to be learning coping mechanisms. How do you calm yourself? How do you get yourself into a place where you're not as stressed out? Who are you speaking to? What kind of support system do you have? Are you around people that love and value you? If you haven't watched my video on mental health and estrangement, please watch that. Also, watch my video about the other factors that contribute, why adult children cut off. I hope this video has been a help to you. Don't forget to get my ebook, Feeling Heartbroken and Alone, How to Pick Up the Pieces When You're Estranged. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you thought. How else can I be of help to you? We'll see you in the next video.